as the Mets dropped the first 2 games of the series, and they've got another issue to deal with today. Pete Alonso is out of the lineup for the first time in more than a year. Pete has a streak of 353 consecutive games played, but he's out of the lineup today.
David Peterson making his 10th home start this year. The Mets are 9-0 in the first 9. He truly has been, as Daniel said, the stopper on this staff, and the Mets need for him to be that today. TJ Friedl leads off for the Reds, the only left-handed bat in the lineup.
Grounded to second, hard range right, Acuna. And it's missed by Vientos. Filling in at first, Pete Alonso is sidelined. A bruise near the base of his thumb on his right hand, and a miscue out of the gate for the Mets.
See if the Reds can capitalize. They were able to cash in on a huge costly error by the Mets yesterday.
Grounded right side. Acuna off his glove on the dive. Friedl through second. He digs for third and claims it easily. Men at the corners for the Reds right at the start.
A beautiful piece of textbook hitting by Matt McLain right there. Ellie just had a modest hit streak snapped yesterday, going 0 for 4. He had hit safely in his last 6 games.
Smoke to center, base hit. Friedl scores. McLain up to second. The first 3 Reds have reached. It is 1-0 opening inning.
Just a really good balanced swing on the part of De La Cruz. You know, you have a temptation to sit back, think you're going to hit a 3-run home run right here.
The Reds are not over swinging. They are trying to make solid contact, line drives, and hard ground balls. And boy, is it paying dividends.
There's a ground ball. Double play ball. Acuna with the turn and a stretch by Vientos. He kept his toe on the bag. And Peterson gets his first 2 outs on a 5-4-3 double play.
So here is Steer, the right-hand batter.
And Steer lines one right to Lindor, and that retires the side. So Peterson limits the Reds to an unearned run.
Now the Reds look to lefty Andrew Abbott, his first launch after his initial All-Star game appearance.
Well, let's make no mistake about it. The Reds have done awfully well against what is supposed to be the most productive part of this Mets order, and that's 1 through 4, 1 through 4.5.
Look at Nimmo remains hitless lifetime against the Reds lefty.
Soto 0 for 4 yesterday. He punched out 3 times.
Soto dribbler. Abbott gathers. Soto nested to the bag. A crisp 1-2-3 opening inning.
So Peterson retired the first 2 hitters in the inning, a single and a walk to the 8 and 9 hitters.
Friedl reached on error and scored the game's only run. And he gets hit again. His 4th hit by pitch on the series, and that loads the bases for McLain.
Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Came back with a slider, punches out McLain, and the Reds leave him loaded. No runs, a hit, 3 left.
5-3 on the sack, moving Vientos to second. There's Brett Beatty, who had a great day yesterday. A couple of hits, including a home run.
Swing and a miss, struck him out. Got him with a high fastball, and down on strikes, Brett Beatty.
Tyrone Taylor leads off in the home third for New York, struggling against lefties, hitting just 177 against southpaws. And Taylor chops one up the third baseline. He might beat this out if it stays fair, and it does. Couldn't have rolled it out there any better. Taylor with an infield hit. The Mets get a leadoff hit for the 2nd straight inning. Here's Acuna getting the start at second base today, and he pushes a bunt. Abbott off the mound and fires on target. So the Mets' 2nd sacrifice in the last 2 innings.
Remember, you're giving up an out to get a man into scoring position, which is okay, but they're not hitting in these spots, so sooner or later it's got to break through.
And he pulls one on the ground, base hit. Taylor around third. He's being waved home. The throw by Marte. Brandon Nimmo ties the game with an RBI single. It's 1-1.
So giving up the out paid off there. Marte in right field appeared to have hesitated just a little bit before getting that throw off. And that might have been the difference between Nimmo scoring and a much closer play at the plate.
Connor Joe walked in the 2nd.
Joe was originally drafted by the Pirates first round in 2014.
Well hit to left. So Connor Joe breaks out of his funk. He halts it 0 for 14. Leadoff hit for the Reds.
Peterson sets at the shoulder, the pitch. Swing and a bounce to short, waiting on it Lindor. He's got it, runs to the bag for 1, throws to first, double play. Nicely done by Francisco Lindor. And Mr. Peterson does among the things that he does best, induce a ground ball that produces 2 outs. 1-2 to McLain. In there, strike 3 call. Got him with a fastball. Side retired.
Home 5th inning, 1-1 game. Brett Beatty leads off against Andrew Abbott.
The 0-1. Swinging a liner towards left center. That's going to be in for a base hit. Hustling over to get it is Joe, and Beatty will turn first. And hold on with a leadoff single. The Mets have their 4th hit of the game. And here is Acuna, right-hand batter. Runner goes, pitch taken high. Beatty on his way to second. The throw by Stevenson, safe at second. Stolen base for Brett Beatty. And the Mets put a runner in scoring position with 1 man out as Beatty comes up with his 5th stolen base of the year. He's not yet been caught.
That's driven to left field by Acuna, and that's going to be over the head of Joe and up against the wall, and the Mets will take the lead. Beatty's in to score. Luis Angel Acuna slides in safely. The ball comes free. It's an RBI double for Acuna, and the Mets lead it 2-1.
And so the Mets getting some things done with the bottom of the order here. And now back to the top, and Brandon Nimmo
goes to the fastball up, and he strikes out Nimmo for a second time.
I think Nimmo was sitting on breaking ball. That was kind of an underwater swing.
So here's Lindor, who's flied out and struck out 0 for 2.
Is into center field. Friedel coming on. He makes the play on the slide.
That's what I'm talking about.
So Mets get a 2-out base runner, and here is Torrens. Mets leading 2-1. McNeil at first, 2 out.
That's lined in left center field, a base hit for Torrens. McNeil pulls in at second. So Torrens with his 5th hit in this series. And the Mets will get the red-hot Brett Beatty to the plate.
Hit sharply on the ground right at McLean. He gloves, flips it over to Steer, side, retired. The Mets will strand a couple.
Well, look who's in the game as a defensive replacement. That's the first time in his career he's ever been a defensive replacement.
Now Noelvi Marte. Marte 0 for 2 today in his right field debut.
That is well hit to left base hit.
Noelvi Marte with a nice line drive single into left.
Jake Fraley taking a moment to chat with Gavin Lux, who's going to stand in for Connor Joe.
There goes the runner. The throw to second by Torrens. A little high, but a good tag by Lindor, and he's out. Torrens gets another one. Lindor with a terrific tag. We'll see if the Reds challenge the call. And they will not. So a 2-out walk to McLean. And Diaz is coming into the game. Carlos Mendoza's not going to waste any time.
Diaz home with a 3-1. Ball 4, he walked him. He missed with a slider away, so the walk of De La Cruz now puts 2 on with 2 out.
McLean takes off. Ellie does as well. Bounce to the backhand Lindor. Long throw to first is not in time.
Hayes beat it out, and the Reds have loaded the bases. Little surprised McLean didn't keep right on running and try to score on that play, but he stays at third, and now they're loaded with 2 outs, and here comes Spencer Steer to the plate. And now the pitch hits Steer with the bases loaded, and the game is tied. He ran a fastball up and in on Steer, and he drilled him. And the Reds have evened this game at 2 with a little rally here with 2 outs in the 8th inning.
Can they crack it open? It's Tyler Stevenson.
3-2. Struck him out. Diaz strikes out Stevenson after falling behind 3-1 to keep it tied after the Reds come back to get even. And the Mets have the go-ahead run aboard to start the 8th. Neal has a sacrifice and a walk, otherwise 0 for 1. See 3 for 8 against Suter. And Jeff drives one to right center field, cutting over his Fraley. He won't get there. Base hit. Soto on his way to third. He's going to be held up there. McNeil slides in with a double, and the Mets have second and third and 1 out. And moves that go-ahead run to third with 1 out.
Tony Santillan gets the call. Infield in.
Strikeout, pop-up, weak contact.
Luis Torrens at the plate, 1 for 3 today. And Torrens hits it sharply, but right to McLean, coming home. Soto slides, he's safe, and the Mets have the lead. Soto with a terrific secondary lead, got a great break down the line and beat McLean's throw, and the Mets lead it 3-2.
So with 2 out, Tyrone Taylor will be the batter.
Struck him out, but the Mets get a run back, and the Reds trail. They need to rally.
1 down here in the Reds' 9th inning, and now it is Jake Fraley. Fraley flew out to right field his first time up.
Opposite way and throw, base hit.
Maybe he should have.
Soft single for Fraley. Tying run is on.
And now Gavin Lux is the batter.
And Lux hits a ground ball. Acuna with the backhand flip. Out at second. Safe at first. And the ball game continues. Ball just not hit hard enough to turn 2. Acuna did everything he could, and it's left in the hands of T.J. Friedl. Popped up, shallow right. Acuna out, calling all the way. And the ball game is over. Ryan Stanek gets his second save of the year, and the Mets salvage the finale of this series and snap their 3-game losing streak as they beat the Reds 3-2.